Welcome to the latest episode of Harmonious World, and I'm delighted to be joined by Jasmin Lacasse Roy and this lovely classical guitar album, Meteores. And you're listening now to Against Elise. I hope you enjoy listening to my conversation with Jasmin. So welcome to this episode of Harmonious World. Thank you for joining me.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
Okay, I love this album. Meteor, is that right?
Yes. Meteors. Well, it's in French, but yeah.
Yeah, yes. And it's a tribute to Montreal's Mile End district, is that
Yes,
right?
it's a neighborhood in Montreal, yes.
Okay. Is that where you live, or is that where you grew up, or how did that come
Uh,
about?
it's where I live right now. A long time ago, when I came to Montreal for my studies at the Montreal Conservatory, it's the neighborhood where I moved first, without knowing what it was, or just because it was close to the conservatory. And right away, I could feel a different vibe. It was just a different mood, and really a great place.
Yeah. Well, it certainly sounds it from these tracks. So 10 tracks that are all very different.
Yes.
When did you compose them?
I started probably like first one 3 years ago, and from the beginning, I wanted to compose 10 or 12 composition to record for an album. So, and thinking of how I wanted things to sound and everything, right away I felt I wanted every composition should have a strong narrative, so they are like stories, every one of them.
Ah, right. Yeah. So they all have a very, very different feel, don't they? Each one has a very different expression and theme and timbre.
Yes, I wanted really a lot of contrast, and every composition should be a different world.
Yes. And they show the guitar off in a very different way each time.
Yes. Some of them they have like special techniques, stuff I modified from what I've saw, or something stuff I created, and just to have like a wide palette of textures.
Yes, and there is an American, well, there's a European and a transatlantic vibe going on, which is quite interesting. And is that how Montreal, because I've never been there, but is that how Montreal works?
Yes, it's like a mix between like New York and Paris or something. It's really a lot. You walk a couple of streets one way, and it's completely different, and then another couple of streets, and then it's another neighborhood, different architecture, different cultures, and it's
Yeah, and that certainly comes across in these tracks. Can you tell me a bit about your background, how you got to Montreal?
yes. When I was young, I wanted to start learning the guitar. I was listening a lot to the radio, and I had a strong feeling for music. And the teacher in the town I grew up in was a friend of the family, and he was a classical guitar teacher. So I started classical guitar, thinking maybe to be like a rock guitarist, or just to get some, bases and learning the technique and stuff like that. But soon, when I started to learn, I realized that you could really play a lot of different colors with the guitar, depending on where you pluck the string and what do, you can change the sound a lot. And I also realized that classical guitar, most of the time you're going to play by yourself, and I like that because I love changing stuff on the spot, and sort of always music should always feel like alive and moving wherever it needs to go in at that point of time. So it fit my personality really well in that way. So I keep on studying, and then I was accepted to the Montreal Conservatory. So I'm moving to Montreal and spending like 5 years in the conservatory, doing my bachelor and master in the conservatory, then studying at the University of Montreal for a doctorate in guitar performance. And with all that, I played concert across Eastern Canada, mostly competition and stuff like that.
Yeah. And is this your first album, your first solo album?
No, I did record a little album of my transcription of the standard repertoire for classical guitar.
Oh, right. Okay. And have you yet been able to tour this album, this new one?
No, unfortunately, no. It's too bad. It's too difficult right now. The situation is getting better, but I think they still have to make up the concert from 2020 that were canceled. So
yeah,
you wait your turn. But I hope to get concerts soon, because one other thing I I did with the composition is I wanted to have sort of freedom to improvise in the middle of at certain parts. So have the ability to maybe stretch some sections and adding stuff, taking away, improvising at certain point in every composition. My goal was I love a concert when the sort of the interpretation is tailored to the moment in time where everybody's there. The vibe is different for every concert, and try to make it like tailored to that moment for that place, that moment in time.
Right. I was going to ask you actually how much of this is composed and how much of it is improvised, because it's hard to tell sometimes. So how did you conceive of each track, the structure of it?
Structurally, well, first I didn't want to be stuck in a regular form. Like I didn't want to I didn't want to force myself to do like a sonata form and then I have to do this and then this and then that and then that. I wanted every composition to be like a conversation, to just have the music flow wherever it feels like going. And most of it, the narrative is set, right? Let's say it like that. But the way I tell that part of the story can be a little improvised, you see. So if I want a section to be like a storm, it's very moody and it's very unpredictable, then it's not going to be exactly the same every time, but the feel of the storm is going to be there. So and some part of the recording I don't think I can do again. So
very good.
It was just like spur of the moment, and then a few part of it I don't think I can do it exactly like I did.
But that's nice, isn't it? I mean, that's when classical meets everything else, because this is definitely classical guitar, but there's elements of other things that come in, aren't there, that in terms of the improvisation.
Yes,
and that's
yes,
nice.
yeah. There's a hint of like folk music and some rock music, and I try to one of my early inspiration is Jimi Hendrix. Always been a huge fan, and so I try to bring that style of like a guitar riff, but that's been sort of classicalized in the way I am not just repeating the riff, but I'm transforming it in a classical way, like Beethoven transform some motif and stuff.
Yeah, it's very good. So what does the future hold? What's next?
And I hope many concerts. So I'm working on trying to organizing a tour in Canada, maybe in the United States, but it's difficult to cross the border and all that. But hopefully a lot of concert in the next few years.
Very good. Lovely. Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for joining me. And I'm going to encourage my listeners to listen to more of this. Can we play some clips of tracks at the beginning and at the end? Is that all right?
No problem. Yes.
Fantastic. Yes. Okay. And where is the best place for people to buy this? Because my guess is that for most of my listeners, they would be streaming or buying online. Where is the best place for them to do that?
Best place would be Bandcamp.
Great.
Just search my name, Jasmin Lacasse Roy. You can buy it there. On my website, jasminlacasseroy.com, you have a link to every streaming platform the music is
brilliant
on.
Fantastic. And I'll also encourage people to do the Bandcamp Fridays, because then you get more money.
Yes, it's a great initiative. Yeah,
it's very good, isn't it? Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Jasmin. It's been really nice talking to you.
It was a great pleasure talking to you.
You're listening now to the last track from Meteores, and this is Midnight Disco Lounge. And I love this track because it feels like the end of a great night. I hope you're enjoying listening to some clips from this album, and that you perhaps go on and explore Jasmin's playing some more. You'll find a link in the show notes, and I hope you explore Jasmin's playing further. Have a great week, and I'll speak to you soon. Thank you for listening to the latest episode of Harmonious World. My name is Hilary Seabrook, and it's a great delight to bring this series of discussions with musicians and composers and writers and all sorts of people to you. Obviously, there's no point in having a podcast if people aren't listening, and I'm very grateful to my listeners for doing so. Thanks also to Joe English for composing and performing this new theme tune. So wherever you get your podcast, you can leave a review. You can share this with your friends and family, either as a link or on social media and that sort of thing. I'd be really grateful for that. Don't forget that you can subscribe now. There's a link wherever you get your podcasts. So have a great week, and please remember why I started this, which is just to try and make the world a little more harmonious. Thanks for listening to Harmonious World.